Hi everyone and welcome. This is episode 75 and in this one I'll be showing you how to scratch build a 35 scale winch or hoisting hook. I'm busy with Hobby Boss's jackal, and you'll remember that in the last video I scratch built some parts for the driver's compartment. In this video the scratch building continues. I'll be scratch building a winch hook or hoisting hook for the jackal's winch, and in this video I'll be showing you the process that I followed. So why am I scratch building a winch hook? Well, simply because it's missing from the kit. Yes, Hobby Boss provides very nice detailed parts for the winch, but no winch hook itself. And this is what we'll be scratch building. I believe this is called a hoisting hook. Unfortunately, my box of spares, all these sprues from previous builds came up empty. I had no hooks in here to use, and the last resort was to scratch build it. And for this I used 2mm soldering wire. This is from the garage, very flexible indeed, and the perfect material to make this from. You also need a set of pliers and of course a set of side cutters to cut this soft metal. The first step, of course, is to bend a rough hook shape. That's what I'm doing on your screen right there. And guys, again, this stuff is super pliable and it makes it very easy to work with. Now, normally I wouldn't recommend that you use your modeling side cutters to cut any sort of wire, but this stuff is so soft that I could easily use my Tamiya cutters to cut this to shape. Next step is to press this flat with the set of pliers. You can see that's very easily done with this lead wire. Now, if I look at my reference picture, you'll notice that the hook itself is quite flat, and it's also got a very pronounced hook shape on the edge, and that's what I'm going to do next. I'm going to use my hobby side cutter, just cut that hook more or less to shape, something like that, just the tip there. And I also need to work on the back end of that hook. Now, don't worry if it's a bit rough at this point, because this metal is so soft that it's very easy to sand to shape, just to get that nice round corners. And that's what I'm doing right there, using my sander just to tidy that up. That looks nice. And the next step is to do the eye portion. And to do this, I again start by pressing the back end a little bit flatter than the rest of the hook. There we go, something like that. With this section pressed flat, I can now cut it from the wire itself. There we go, that's the hook section. And now we can work on rounding that eye section at the back. Again, I'm using my Tamiya cutters just to cut away the lead that we won't need, just rounding that back section. And there we go. Once we have that, I can start using my sander again just to tidy up the ring section at the back. So there we go, nice and round, but I still need to work on the back end of the hook. It's still a bit fat. So again, cutting away some of the lead wire there, using my Tamiya cutters. And once I've made the appropriate cut, I can again bring in my sander and just tidy up the edge of that hook. So with this done, I now need to hollow out the eye itself, the ring itself. And for this I started off with the correct size drill, and all went well until this happened. So after inspecting the damage, I realized that this one was a waste, and I'll have to make another hook, and on to attempt number 2. Now actually this was a blessing in disguise, because the second one is more to scale, and I was also able to tidy up the corners of that hook a little bit more. So this time around I decided to first drill a small anchoring hole, and guys, you'll remember that in previous videos I actually emphasized this, and really I just should have followed my own advice. So with the anchoring hole done, I can now move on to the correct size drill, and it's now a lot easier just to drill through there without destroying the entire hook, and just enlarging the ring section, the eye section of that hook. Very soft metal indeed, very easy to drill through, but also very easy to destroy, as I just demonstrated. So there we go. That is the eye, and I'm certainly happy with that. We can move on. Now next, you'll notice this retaining lever, and this is something I'll need to add to my hook as well. Now for this, I'm using a aluminium food tray, and if you've been following me on Instagram, you know that this is one of my favorite scratch building materials. Very thin metal, very cheap, very easy to find in grocery stores, and I'll only need a small little piece of this, small little strip, and that's what I'm cutting there on your screen. Literally only need about 1 millimeter's worth of this, first cutting away the rough edge, and that's the tiny little piece that we'll need to make the retaining lever for our hoisting hook. Now this will need to be placed right there, connected to the ring section. You'll see I folded it in half, and I cut a small notch for this with the hobby knife, and there you go. Insert it into the soft metal and secure it in place with a drop of gel type super glue. Very easy to do, and it adds a nice little bit of detail as well. Now next up is this carabiner that you see connected to the cable. For this I'll be using binding wire, also available from your local hardware store. This is 0.7 millimeter, I believe, and this will work perfectly to make a heavy duty carabiner with. You'll notice that I'm using bending pliers. These are really super helpful for this type of scratch building work. Highly recommend it. And there you go, there's the rough shape of our carabiner. Certainly liking that, and I can just proceed and cut away the wire there that we won't need. There we go, nice little cut, and there we go. Our open carabiner. This can now just be bent into place around the hook itself. So guys, there's the hook and the carabiner. The hook needs to be painted next, and as always, use a good quality primer, whether you're working with metal, resin or styrene, and I'll be using flat yellow in this case, just to paint the hook itself, just to resemble my reference pictures. Now guys, there was a question about this on Instagram. This is a nice little stackable container that I use for super small parts, and you know yourselves how easy it is to lose small parts while you're working to the carpet monster. And really I would recommend something similar like this. You'll find them in stores that sells plastic goods, and this is really super helpful just to keep things together and to prevent you from losing things while you're working on your build. So there we go, the hoisting hook, the winch hook, has been attached to that cable. Resembles our reference pictures nicely, and this certainly adds a nice bit of detail and also replaces that missing part from the kit. Of course, this build is not done. In my next video I'll be showing you how I painted the jackal, the pre-shading process, as well as all the detailing that I did. So guys, that's it for video 75. Thank you for joining me, and as always, join me on Instagram for more progress on my builds, and hoping to see everyone in the next video. Thank you for watching.